My name is Jeremy Gilstrap. I started in this industry 9 years ago with a good friend of mine. We owned a landscaping company, and we kept picking up roofing signs out of yards, and we couldn't figure out what was going on for the longest time until we actually asked one of our homeowners who was in the process of getting a roof replacement. He kind of gave us the breakdown. We kind of did some research and the numbers for ourselves, comparing, material prices, labor prices, and the one thing we figured out was the profit margins were massive for the little amount of work that you actually had to do. So at that point, we kind of hung it up with right around zero turns and pushing weed eaters, and we started roofing sales. And then from there, we kind of just we grew a little bit. We grew the first business I owned from about $3.5 million the first year to a little over $8 million the second year. The third year, we did close to $15 million. And then in the midst of that, we just kind of grew a little bit in different directions. And that's when we started Dreamworks Restoration 2 years ago. I think we had a phenomenal first year, did a little over $4.5 million. This year we're looking on pace to actually double what we did last year. So that's good growth. And that's the point where we're at now.
So you're gonna double your sales in basically 2 years. That's awesome.
Correct.
Okay. Talk about your experiences. When we first talked, a little bit about your experiences. You told me that, like a lot of contractors have a fear about they're not really technical people. They're not really internet people. They're not really online and stuff. They're more used to the, bloody knuckles, door knocking, sales, all those different things, more used to being in the field, not really sitting in a computer and doing all these different things. So about your experiences you've used with marketing, with online marketing. I don't know if you've used it, but I think you're pretty sure you had experiences before. Tell me about that. Talk about more about that.
So for us, naturally to me, for the longest time, knocking doors was the most efficient way. It gave you the ability to build a better relationship with a homeowner, and also to be seen in the field. A lot of times we felt that if we were in the presence of a homeowner, if we could at least get them to step out of that doorway, we could close on anything. But the problem being is that the market right now is so saturated, especially in Georgia, with so many companies coming up and popping up overnight, that it makes it tough. So you have to find something that allows you to be different. And that right now is technology. Our cell phones, computers, networking, whatever you can do has been the biggest key for us. I know working with you now, I think we're going on, 4 or 5 months?
In January, yeah. So almost 5 months now, yeah.
In the midst of that, I think we're at the point now that we're closing probably at 45% of the leads that we're actually getting sent over from you guys, which has helped us out a ton. And like you said, really don't have any experience as far as electronics or technical background. So for me, your help has been tremendous in the growth of our company. And it's helping out a lot to learn, because if you don't, you kind of put your money in the wrong areas. It's a bad investment. You don't have a good ROI on what you're trying to do. For instance, I probably lost last year $10,000 just trying to do Facebook on my own, but I didn't understand how the campaigns work. I was just trying to boost posts and things of that nature instead of actually, running campaigns and different things like that.
Okay. One of the things you mentioned is that sometimes when you get a lead, it opens up the neighborhood to your salespeople, right? Talk about that, because a lot of people don't have that. They don't do that. They don't really take advantage of the lead sometimes, because a lot of these communities are gated and they don't have the ability to do that. So talk about more about how some of these leads actually open the door for these new opportunities in the same neighborhood.
Right. So for us, we like to do what's called dominating our hood. We've had the opportunity to be a part of a lot of good conferences this year with a couple of different companies. And one of the things that really sticks in my mind is one of the keynote speakers was explaining that one of the biggest issues that sales guys have is either a follow up or even the initial process of actually getting out and knocking the doors. So for us, what it's helped out is being able to find new territories, taking the leads that we're getting from your company and closing on those sales and using that to benefit us, because for example, we might not be able to get into a gated community, but as Miss Smith calls and we are able to get in because of Miss Smith, well, now we know that we can work the neighbors to the side over, the people in front of her. We can work those people to actually work other leads out, however we may do it. So for that part, it's helped out a ton because, like I said before in the last question you had asked, the market is so heavy right now with so many contractors. When you go and knock these doors now, you're the 20th, the 30th, the 40th roofer that is not. Well, now this is eliminating that from happening. This is giving us good areas, maybe territories that we wouldn't have found or regions that we wouldn't have even went into without having that lead to put us there.
Perfect. Now talk about the experiences with the leads. How many, you said you had a 45% conversion rate. What's the, how many deals you've closed, how many deals you've booked? I don't know if you have those numbers in front of you, but how much estimates you put out there? Talk about that experience.
I don't have those numbers in front of me. I could actually get those for you for our next call. But put it this way, we get anywhere between 5 to 6 per day. We're at least closing on 3 to 4 out of the 5 or 6. Sometimes a little bit less. It just depends on what it may be. But we're having great success right now with the leads compared to when we first were getting them. I think what has happened is it's actually taught us how to be better salesmen because even though you get a lead, a lot of people, I think, misunderstand it. It's not guaranteed. You still have to build that relationship with the homeowner. You still have to, educate them, give them some type of knowledge to where they feel comfortable that you're the contractor for them. So before, I think we struggled with that in maybe the first month or two. But now we're at the point to where we're getting these leads in within 48 hours. We're on the properties. We're doing inspections. We're either filing the claims with insurance companies or we're getting over estimates using Cover, Beacon 3D, different things of that nature. So overall, man, the experience has been phenomenal the last couple of months, and we're really excited about pushing even harder to finish out the year.
Perfect. One of the things I notice is that sometimes you got in a few commercial leads, a few property management leads have actually called you to start a relationship. Talk about that. I don't know what that experience has been like.
Yeah, so with that experience, it's kind of cool. We're actually in the midst right now of working with some HOAs down in Florida in the Orlando area. So this was actually perfect for us as a test run to kind of to hone in on our skills with what we're going to be doing down in Florida. We've actually been able to put a program together, a preventive maintenance program together. It's for our company. We don't charge for us to come out and take a look at anything. I don't think anybody really does. But also at the same time, we give assessments twice a year on these commercial properties or whatever it may be for property management companies. And then we do the repairs at minimal, but we keep track of what's going on through the 2 inspections throughout the year, so that when it does come time for that roof to be replaced or a bigger issue, we have documentation from start to finish. And that's helped us out a ton. That's actually gotten us 12,000 squares of apartment complexes in the last 2 months because of preventive maintenance programs. And the biggest thing is people don't realize these property management companies, these managers, these owners, they all talk to each other. They network together just like we do as contractors to see who's going to be the best and who the best to use is. So for us, 7 of the apartment complexes we were actually referred to those from other apartment complex companies that we haven't even done work for yet.
Awesome. Cool. All right, Jerry, man, I appreciate your time talking about your experiences, man. We'll be in touch.